Hello everyone. My name is Devashish Padi. Today we will discuss about the design process, which is your software engineering topic. So in the class we will discuss about different design process that is adopted in software industry. Generally, two types of design process are adopted. First is function oriented design and second one is object oriented design. So we will discuss first what is generally function oriented design, and then we will discuss about object oriented design. Okay, so first start what is generally function oriented design. In function oriented design, the system divides into smaller subsystem that is known as functions. Okay, what you have studied in programming languages, a whole program is divided into different types of functions that are generally used to do specific task of a program. Like this, in function oriented design also, the whole system is divided into different parts and the small parts are known as my functions. And what are the tasks of these functions? The functions are capable of performing different important tasks of the system, and the system is considered as top view of all the functions. That means system is considered as a whole and the functions are considered as the part of the system. So the relation between the system and the function is nothing but a whole part relationship. You can say that system is a whole, a big thing. Function is the part of a system, a small thing. Okay. And function oriented design inherits some properties of structured design where divide and conquer methodology is used. You have already known that in structure oriented design, like your C programming, divide and conquer approach is used. In divide and conquer approach, the whole system is divided into different parts, and after that the small parts are combined into a big module that is known as my divide and conquer. First divide the whole module into smaller part, execute that small part, and after getting the result all the things must be combined, and that process is known as my conquer methodology. So divide and conquer methodology is somehow used in function oriented design. And this design mechanism, this function oriented design mechanism, divides the whole system into small parts, and due to these small parts we achieve a good property that is known as my abstraction property, and due to this abstraction property, information hiding, or you can say that data hiding feature can be achieved. These functional modules can share information among themselves by means of information passing and using information available globally. Okay, due to this functional module, they can share the different information among themselves, that is known as my message passing among different modules. And due to this information passing or message passing, this information can be available globally and can be shared by all the functions in a single system. Another characteristics of functions is that when a program calls another function, the function changes the state of the program, which sometimes is not acceptable by other module. When one function calls another function, the called function can change the state of the program, and these things cannot be acceptable by other modules of the same systems. And function oriented design can be useful where system's state does not matter. Why? And it only gives importance to input data. We cannot give attention to the state of a function. Okay. And the second approach is object oriented approach. In the object oriented design, it mainly focus on different types of object oriented features, and we know the different object oriented features are objects, classes, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. Okay, we will give a small idea about these things. What is generally object? All entities involved in the solution design are known as object. That means in a system, all the things which may participate on the execution process is known as objects. For example, person is an object, bank is an object, company, customer, all the things are known as object. Every entity has some attribute. Entity means these things are entities: person, banks, company, and customers. These are known as entities, and attributes associated to it, and has some methods to perform the attributes. Attributes means different properties of the entity. What are the different properties? Let us consider. If you can take person as an entity, then different attributes of persons are person's name, person's age, person's color, person's height. All these things are you can take as an attribute. If you can take bank as an entity, the different attributes are bank name, bank branch. Okay, so these are known as the different attributes. If you can take customer as an entity, different attributes are customer name, customer's ID, okay, customer address, customer email ID, customer phone number. These things are known as my attributes of the customer. Okay, so everything that are participate in the system execution, that is nothing but my objects. And second thing is, what is classes? A class is a generalized description of an object. Okay, or we can say that in similar term, similar type of objects comes under a single class. Or you can say that object is an instance of a class. Class defines all the attributes which an object can have and methods which defines the functionality of the object. And in class there are different methods are present, and this methods defines the functionality of the object. Okay, what is encapsulation? In object oriented design, the attributes, you can say that the variables, and the methods, you can say the operations, are bundled together is called an encapsulation. You can say that class is an best example of your encapsulation, because in class both the variables and functions are present. Okay, so encapsulation is nothing but capsulate, okay, in a single group all the methods and all the classes belonging to a single single bundle, single package is known as my encapsulation. Encapsulation not only bundles important information of an object together, but also restrict access of the data and methods from the outside world. This is called information hiding. Okay, in first properties of encapsulation is to bundle the data member and member functions, and second and main property is it gives data hiding property. Data hiding means it can hide the functions and methods from the outside world. Next is inheritance, one beautiful features of your object oriented design. Due to inheritance you can achieve reusability features. Okay, object oriented design allows similar classes to stack up in hierarchical manner, where the lower or subclasses can import elements and reuse allowed variables and methods from their immediate superclass. In simpler term, you can say that the derived class can access all the properties, means variables and functions, from the base class or superclass. Okay, then what is polymorphism? Object oriented language provides a mechanism where methods performing similar tasks but vary in argument can be assigned same name. Okay, you can say that function overloading is a property of polymorphism. Same name and different arguments are present, that is known as polymorphism, which allows single interface performing tasks for different types. Depending upon how the function is invoked, respective portion of the code gets executed. We will discuss the application of polymorphism like function overloading and function overriding in your programming language. Okay, so two types of design methodology are used in software industry, that is known as my function oriented design and object oriented design. Okay, thank you.